Sarah Strong is a problem, and she might be the best all-around talent in the country. UConn's freshman is going to have her coming out party in the NCAA tournament. I mean, she put up a massive stat line in the first round game. Of course, it was against a lesser opponent in Arkansas State. But when you watch Sarah Strong play, she's got the size that can't be taught. She's got the skill that with the size is borderline unfair. She's got basketball IQ, which when you mix it in with what I just said, it's just a cocktail for UConn contention. She can really shoot the basketball. She can really pass the basketball. Just good instincts, good floor awareness. You see her confidence growing. And that's why the Huskies are so fearsome, because obviously you have Paige Beckers, who's been around the block and has the experience. And you have AZ Fudd, who's such an excellent shooter and really, a big-time prospect in her own right. But one of the reasons I thought maybe, USC wasn't thrilled with their draw in the bracket was because of what UConn is capable of. And I believe the reason for that, or their ceiling, is because of Sarah Strong. You look at that freshman performance that I was just talking about, what I was just referencing. Clearly, people were impressed. Gino Auriemma looked like he was impressed. Look at that face right there. He knows it. He knows he's got one in Sarah Strong. And then you just look at the actual stat line, like I mentioned. The first or the only player in 25 years. I don't know if that's because that's when they were tracking her, or if she's actually the only player ever to reach the threshold, 20 points, 10 plus boards, 5 plus assists, 5 plus blocks, like filling out the entire box score, doing it all in the game. We'll see how she does as it goes along, because there are other great players in the country, of course, like her own teammate, of course, Juju Watkins, Hannah Hidalgo, who have a little bit more experience than Sarah Strong, which could show. But the fact that she's so young, when you just talk about actual special talents, I would put her perhaps at the top of the list in college hoops. The game is trending towards guards now, which is more relatable to folks and captures the imagination more. But look at, for a big, who else has the all-around package like this out there? Get that out of here. No, I'm going the other way. And I'm going to finish on you. I'm going to wait up, too strong. Oh, kick it out. I'm going to reseal. Yeah, mouse in the house. Oh, look at that. Look you off, and then backdoor cut, bounce pass, running the floor, finishing. Getting the ball in transition, going. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take it all the way because I'm too fast for y'all. And my size I can use to, separate myself from the defender. Get it out. Cute little bid that you guys got here. Another block. And that's out on a guard, too. I mean, again, a lesser, team, but out on a guard. Look at the way she can catches the pivot foot there, keeps it, and scores. Out ahead again. She's got lateral quickness for the side. Ah! I mean, an absolute monster. There she is again in transition. Another, like the basketball IQ. That's something you just can't teach. That's really what takes it over the top, especially when you shoot the ball like that. Come on. Yeah. I mean, she is an absolute force. Special talent. Just a special talent. Again, like I said, I think I get it when, and not to say she should be pushed ahead of anybody else, because she still has to prove it against the real teams. And, Juju's already gone out and done it. And obviously Juju is the kind of player who fans are going to ooh and ah about more, because it's always harder for bigs to translate in that way. Same goes with Paige. Same goes with Hidalgo. Lauren Betts hasn't gotten the national attention as a big, but she doesn't have the, all-around game that I think Sarah Strong has, obviously. But you get my point. And that's why they're so easy to sell as stars. And they're really great players. Don't get me wrong. Paige is so efficient and so good. And Juju is an absolute load. And I've called Juju the best prospect since Caitlin Clark. And that is true. But I think, Sarah Strong is that next best prospect. And the term generational talent gets thrown around a lot. I feel like it might apply for Sarah Strong because of all the players that I've seen, including all the ones I mentioned, not from a marketing standpoint, not if I'm trying to build a franchise or sell a franchise or sell product or merchandise, but just like from a basketball standpoint, if I could look at that entire talent pool and pick one player to go with, it might be her. It might be her. We got to see how she does, when the going gets a little tougher, when UConn matches up. But again, she's only in her freshman season. So that's the real truth of the matter, right? Like that she's super young and averaged 16 points, 8.5 boards, 3.5 assists, 57.5% shooting this year. It's only going to go up from here. She's only going to get better. This is the worst she's ever going to be. And she's putting up, historic stat lines in the NCAA tournament. So pretty impressive stuff. We could get a Iowa one. I think the way that the brackets are set up, Iowa is matched up with UConn if they were able to beat Oklahoma. That could be an interesting matchup as the tournament goes along too. But UConn is poised. I see why Gino Auriemma is so confident. I see why he came into the tournament and was like, you know what? Wherever we go, we're going to go. It doesn't really matter where we wind up. And I see why Lindsey Gottlieb might have been a little bit concerned about the possible matchup, because who wants to deal with Sarah Strong? And I remember going back to that USC game in December, I thought Juju was the best player on the floor by far in the first half, and I thought Sarah Strong was the best player on the floor in the second half. So Strong has a chance. And I've said this before. This is not a new statement from me, but I think by the end of the tournament, to make a case as the best all-around player in the country, or right there with the other emerging stars that we continue to talk about as the women's basketball pipeline continues to grow. And she's going to be in college for a while longer now. And then Paige is going to go on to the pros, and it's going to be Sarah Strong's team, which is going to be an interesting thing to see unfold over the years here.